Well, dope. We are recording. Welcome back to the Alexandrian Codex. I'm Alex. This is Star Trek New Horizons. Excitingly, an update has come out. Because hit this bad boy. And give the browser a minute. We can take a look at the August 12th update. The Birth of a Federation update, I believe it's called. I don't remember what the checksum is, but there have been some changes. We haven't played in a while. Neutral Zone we played. Yep. No. So this is all new. Very exciting. So, Cole Andor Crisis for the Tellarites and Andorians. Well, I'm not playing for either of those, so we won't see this. The Pajem Observatory Crisis for the Vulcans, Andorians, and humans. It's going to be interesting. We're just gonna hop in as humans because I want to form a federation. You'll see why. You'll see why I want to form the normal federation. The Sirenite Crisis for the Vulcans and humans. The Inner Light Anomaly has been revamped. Kovali and Romulan captains now have unique titles and events, which is a lot of editing text files, or a lot of editing lines of text, so good on you. I know that's really boring work, mod team, but thank you. Starfleet crew activities, don't know what that refers to, but it's interesting. Distress call events, periodically generate random distress call events. Is sweet, because once you start exploring, and once you've done surveying things in the first place, the galaxy begins to become quite static, but adding in dynamic or randomly generated events like distress calls is a brilliant way, and we'll see how it plays out, but a brilliant way to try to keep things fresh. Konar events for Vulcans. That'll be interesting to see how that affects us. Changeling Obelisk Anomaly. We're likely not going to find that. So those are all neat, but what's bringing me back really is the mechanics change. The Federation ship roster has been overhauled. Federation players can now enjoy over 40 different ship classes, instead of Corvette, Destroyer, Cruiser, Heavy Cruiser, Battleship, Heavy Escort, and... is that it? I think that was it before. Now, every ship is its own class, which is a really fucking cool idea. The Federation is the only nation, faction, entity, only nation. I never remember what the fuck they call them. Empire isn't right because some are empires and some aren't. And nations implies nationality, and like the United Federation of Planets is made up of different species, so nation doesn't really work. And country doesn't really work because a lot of these are inter-species alliances between different governments. It's whatever. It's a moot point. That's cool. The Federation's the only one that this mechanic has been introduced for, so we're playing with the Federation. Long-term plans, I assume Romulans, Klingons, and others will be getting it as well, but Cardassians, Dominion, etc., but we're it for now. Overhauled Starfleet Museum mechanic, thank God, because this was a horrible structure before. Museum automatically retires obsolete ship classes, which can be recommissioned in a limited number later on. That's really neat. Introducing the new mechanic of tech level, restricting certain ships to use only weapons, components, and utilities of a maximum tech level. So you can only retrofit an old ship so much. Right, eventually you need to just rebuild it from the ground up for it to take advantage of higher tech level equipment. Some species have new unique techs and civics to boost their abilities to produce and trade certain luxury trade goods. That's neat. I don't know who or what that refers to, but cool. All weapons and sections, as well as most components, have been rebalanced. This is a very short note, but that's quite substantial. I was settling into, okay, I know New Horizons well enough, like, I know what weapons I want to pick without reading the descriptions, but now I'm going to have to slow down a little bit, take a closer look. Overhaul the passive era bonus system. Previously, ships from later eras received passive buffs. Now, those buffs are replaced with unique modifiers to each ship class. This mechanic only applies to Federation ships. Overhaul the balance of bombardment and anti-bombardment buildings, making bombardment more potent and making anti-bombardment buildings cheaper and easier to maintain. Neat, but I hate these anyway, so I probably still won't use them. Tweak the war score system to be more intuitive, thank God, because it was not. Interstellar Union is an alternative Federation option for Andorian players meeting required criteria. I don't know what this is. I would love to take a look at that. The return of Jump Drive, which is great. Starfleet Advanced Cruisers can now equip a range of advanced FTL solutions, but all of these come with a risk. Be warned. That's ominous and exciting. New diseases have been added, including Yarm-Bell syndrome, Bendy syndrome, Doric syndrome. The Xindi Council mechanic has been added, so playing as the Xindi, every few years you get to choose which of your species becomes dominant. Depending on what species is dominant, you'll get different bonuses and malices. So that's really cool. The Xindi were already kind of neat because you start out with a lot of different species. This really just doubles down on that. So, new Federation ship class specific components, weapons, and utilities, new range of unique ship classes for the Federation, and ship techs for the Federation, new component type and Federation class ships will give you the lowdown on your ships, hundreds of new weapons, overhauling the current system of energy weapons being divided between beam and cannon. Instead, energy weapons will again be divided between sizes. There are numerous new civics, traits, and governments, unique buildings for multiple major empires, as well as embassies and new headquarters for the Tal Shiar and Obsidian Order. More luxury goods, great. A few more Easter eggs, which is exciting. The Saurian species has been added, which is very cool. The Jem'Hadar's variety have been improved. Improved how? I don't know. More variety to blackmail human portraits. That's probably for the best. Numerous new weapon effects. Improved a lot of Federation ships. 20 new ships to the Federation roster. There have been various fixes to align the solar system view to galaxy view for binary systems. Alpha Centauri has been improved. Again, improved how it's not very specific, but we'll take a look. Improved various star systems, new textures for planets, class A's, B's, C, D, the new textures in the submod. Sol system has been reworked. Now, I'm curious about these because a lot of the textures, and I don't know if the mod team were aware of this, but like the textures in game that previous versions of the mod were using for Ganymede, Callisto, Europa, Io, Jupiter, already used this texture data? So, I mean, yeah, okay, cool. If you went back and re-edited the files, that's fine. If you found larger resolution images to get your raw data from, that's great, but Voyager and Galileo probes, in particular, Cassini and Juno are a little different, but Voyager and Galileo, they didn't take that many photos that are on the public record and are in a large enough resolution to fit to a 4K map or an 8K map or even a 2K map sometimes. So I don't know what they're doing with the new textures. It's fine, I'm not trying to poke holes in this. I'm just like, I'm curious because I've made these textures before. Like, where did you get new data? There is no new data. Come back to Stellaris in a couple of months. I said a couple of months or when this is out. I'll cone back? Come on. You're gonna troll. Do so. Quote me correctly. Yeah, I said when this new update comes out, or when the actual Stellaris updates come out, but this is fine for now, you know? I kind of wish I could just jump into our old save, but I can't. My meaty fingers don't work on the small phone keyboard. Oh, God bless you, trying to use... How's the Twitch app on your phone? It's painful, right? It does not work great on mine. Watching video at all on a mobile device is hell. New bombardment features. Any planet where primitive civilizations nuke themselves will have a special texture. It's cute. Any planet turned into a tomb world will have a special texture. It's cool. There's the Temerian translation project won't fire multiple times. This has been fixed. Rakhari name fixes. Minor fixes. The Klingon Cardassian Alliance invasion. This is good. This felt like something was going wrong here. Strange new world anomaly. I'm curious what the fixes to this are because I thought it worked fine. Barnard Star now shows it's an MM. This is an MMM. This is an MM. MM meaning M is a red dwarf in the stellar. Oh god, what is the stellar classification system called? M is a red dwarf, or M is typically red. Capitalization and parentheticals afterward tell you what kind of red star. Anywho, lots of cool shit, but only for the Federation. So doing another Federation run. Alright, good idea for an EU4 run. Dithmarchen plays them. Try to expand on your own as little as possible. Become the Holy Roman Empire, or you can't become the Holy Roman Emperor as Dithmarchen because you're a peasant's republic, right? So instead, demolish the HRE and puppet as many former HRE states as possible, forcing them to have a republic government type. Reform the HRE as a series of tiny German republics. Do it. There's a fucking challenge, right? Alright, so because we're playing as somebody who can colonize and because I value my time, no. And primitive civilizations, fucking no. This goes back to normal because it fucked shit up badly last time. Difficulty, Commodore should be fine. Originally we played on Ensign. I think Commodore should be fine. Now let's hop in here. Alternatively, you could play as the Pope and try to turn every state in Europe into a theocracy. Yeah, go ahead, do that. That doesn't sound that difficult. It sounds arduous and repetitive, but it doesn't sound that difficult. Maybe that's just me projecting how I'm feeling about EU4 right now. I'm fucking excited to see the Discovery events. They came out a while ago while we were still running our original Federation run, but I would be damned at that point if I even considered restarting. How would that work? Very difficult. You would have to... Yeah, I think if you release someone in EU4, they typically have your government type. So you'd have to annex people, but not remove their cores or their claims, and release them as a vassal. Not that hard. Of course, I don't know if theocracies do that. I know that other nations do. I know that republics and monarchs do that, but I don't know if theocracies do that. The specter of war had followed humanity for centuries, culminating in the Third World War in 2053. Emerging from this post-atomic horror, the peoples of Earth struggled to survive until the scientist Zefram Cochrane successfully drew the attention of the Vulcan science vessel Planahath a decade later. Following almost a century of Vulcan patronage, the people of Earth are ready to take their first steps into the great unknown. They seek out new life and new civilizations to boldly go where no one has gone before. The potential to make yourself a better man, that is what it is to become human, to make yourself more than what you are. I mean, it's close. Did you release everything? Ooh, dope. We start out with 2 dilithium. That's quite good. Also, hey, look at Amalthea. See how it isn't stuck in the gas giant anymore? Hey! It's a planet remnant. And you use the asteroid texture. Good for okay, I know how they did this. It's very I was about to say, how the fuck did you get an asteroid to have these orbit lines? Because in Stellaris, if this were an asteroid class planet, and it isn't, this is how they get the orbit lines. They created a new planet class called Planet Remnant, and just gave planet remnants the same models and textures that asteroids have, but they changed it so that planet remnants have orbital lines. Smart fucking cookie. That's clever. I'm an idiot. I should have thought of that. That's very, very, very clever. I hate that I didn't come up with that. I was struggling with this for a long time to figure out how to make this work. Screenshot and steal that. If I ever get back to updating my mod. How's your belt looking? Your belt's looking fine. Oh, no. You made Vesta a... Alright, well this is weird. Vesta's not round. Vesta's... Oh, Vesta's that big. Ceres has got to be in here, right? Well, there's Juno. Okay, interesting. So for the largest asteroids in the belt, they make them Class C planets all in the same orbit? Is this Ceres? Ah, this is pretty Ceres. Yeah, I've seen this texture before. This isn't my favorite map of Ceres, but this is a pretty good one. I know, this is not related really much to the mod, but they reworked a lot of stuff in the solar system, so it's worth poking and taking a look. Now, I can't tell if this is actually... I think this is using a combination of generic textures mixed in with some actual satellite imagery. Yeah. Jupiter is still its beautiful big ol' 8K self. Yeah, nothing new there. Right, let me pull this up. What else did you change here? You changed Mercury. Bullshit, you did. There hasn't been anything new for Mercury in a long time. Yeah, this is the same texture. And this is clean. This is very clean, but this is the same texture I have. And everyone has. Venus. Now, Venus we actually don't have very good telemetry on because it has such a thick THCC atmosphere. Earth has new textures, do you? Yeah, you do. This is much brighter than it used to be. Oh yeah, you can see right here in the Caribbean especially, those islands really pop out now. Hawaii is actually noticeable. Yeah, no, this is better. This is remarkably better. Are you smart people and you put, yeah, look at these lights. This is a really nitpicky thing to focus on, but the original Stellaris light map on Earth just put lights in random places. This is modern day. It'd be kind of weird for them to... Well, not weird. It'd be really impressive if the mod authors or the sub-mod authors went in and edited the texture maps, texture files that they use for these, and expanded the light sources to account for 100... What is that? 130 years of growth and urbanization? Because these are circa, 2008, 2010 population density light maps. It's still good. It's still really good. I can see my hometown. I can see my fucking house from here. Yeah, I am right here. Yeah, I'm right here. Is that... This is Seattle, this is Vancouver. I'm right here. Luna has a new map. Yeah, you do. You can see the poles are always gonna look a little weird on these, but this is what the fuck is up with your Uranus? Oh, they did it! They did it! Okay, this is a cool thing. So the poles of Uranus, the reason it looks like this, the poles are actually inverted. They're east-west instead of north-south in the way that we think of. It rotates on its side. And they didn't have it set up like this. I don't know that the rings go around this way. I'm fairly sure that the rings continue along this way, but that might be a model limitation of Stellaris. Yeah, there some ruralization. It depends on what countries and what parts of what countries you're talking about, but from the population estimates given for Star Trek in 2150 and the tech level that they have at that time, I would expect the light pollution to be maybe less severe than we're seeing in, what is that, Paris? Oh, come on, quit panning out on me. Like, less severe than this, but more widespread. Like, everywhere having kind of a soft glow or a lot of small firefly little dots, rather than just, like, giant glow. Yeah, Star Trek didn't go the whole megapolis city planet route, so it's in theme to have people move back out to the countryside a little bit. Mars has Mars orbiter and Viking imagery. Okay, that's not new. It's very pretty though. Ooh, yeah, these are good dust storms. This might be an existing weather map, but it looks good. Ah, I like the lights though. I do really like having lights on Mars. That's cool. So there's fuck, Olympus Mons, and if that's there, there's, oh yep, there's the Mariner's Trench. Now, what would really impress me is if you can, when you terraform Mars, switch it over to a terraformed Mars map. Yeah, like Africa or Indonesia, maybe parts of India could probably use more lights. You know, honestly, South America is, parts of South America, Brazil in particular I'm thinking of, has had some pretty ambitious urbanization projects in the last, well, in the latter half of the 20th century and continuing into the modern day. In the United States, we are seeing some really interesting, I don't know. It would be a difficult project, right, to create maps of, this is what night might look like in 50 years, because you have to do like a 50-year retrospective to see like how things have grown, and then take into account, like you're talking about, where people are moving to or living at, or where people are being born, and population estimates and stuff like that. It'd be a really fun project, though. Io's new, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto, they're all new. Saturn, Titan, and Aegyptus are new, and only those because the rest of Saturn's moons don't have great photos or satellite imagery of them. But these are all going to look fairly familiar. Yeah, this is kind of a dulled down Callisto. That's probably for the best. Callisto is very, very bright in a lot of images. It's very speckly. That's my boy Europa right there. Europa's gorgeous as always. Io, yep, that's Io. Nice and volcanic. And yep, back to Jupiter. No, that's not what I wanted. Ganymede. Yeah. It's ridiculous the amount of work that it takes to put in these small details that 99% of players will be like, ah, that's pretty Jupiter, but never zoom in that closely to Aegyptus, for example. Ah, yeah, this is quite good. And you can see that the satellite approached from this side, because this is all high resolution, but as we twist over here, you can see here is some really low resolution stuff. There's not much whoever edited this texture file could have done about that, because there's just no data for big swaths of Aegyptus. And for a lot of these planets, actually. Titan, like Venus, is pretty easy, because there's a thick fucking atmosphere, so it's kind of hard to tell what exactly it looks like. Rhea, this looks generic. This is generic, right? Yeah, this is generic. I love that official support has been put in for the Kuiper Belt. Is Eris? Eris, do you have a special texture? No, this is a generic one. The Pluto, though, this is not generic. You can kind of tell. They did a good job cleaning it up, but there's still some vertical lines in here from the satellite imagery. You can see one right here, right here, right here, right here. You can see the texture is a little broken up. Yeah, it's just because of the source image, and it looks like this might have been imposed on top of a generic texture. Which, if it was, no shame in that. It's a really good idea. Which is why I did it. Giant Panama City. Oh, stranger things have happened. Chiron. Now, tell me, do you have Haumea very close in orbit? Cool. But do you have Orcus? You don't have Orcus. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Orcus is... It's another TNO out here that's roughly the same size as these little guys, but I guess Orcus is further out here. Oberon's not unique, right? Yeah, we don't have good imagery of Oberon, nor of Titiana. Yep, these are generic. Has Neptune changed at all? Nope. And, you know, why would it? We haven't had anything out to Neptune in a long time. Anywho, let's play the game. How big is our... Yes! Alright, this is... So the starting size of your home planet varies based on RNG, so we got lucky with the size 25 start. We got very lucky. I'm gonna switch you over from this to that, and... Are we making enough? Yeah, you are going over to this. I'm just immediately... What would this take? 30 months to pay itself off? 3 years? Yep. And yep. I'm immediately going into more mining networks. The reason for that is I want to build the Enterprise as quickly as possible, because it gives a lot of tech bonuses. Mars is... Yep, same as it ever was. Okay, cool. Let's... This is sounding a little loud to me. Is that just me? Ship designer. Fuck that. Never that. So, Emet class frigates. We don't start out with anything very exciting. Description work in progress. Alright. Alright, fair. That's to be expected. I think construction ships, let's make you cheaper. Can I not make you cheaper yet? No, we don't have multiple parts. Science ships, you are fantastic, but I want additional labs. Additional labs I want because they provide survey speed bonuses and anomaly discovery chance bonuses. The earlier you start assigning those, the better. Oh, also, look at this. Franklin. That is a pretty Franklin. That's not... This isn't new, is it? It might have touched things up a little bit, but no, I don't think so. Alright, construction ship. What bonuses do we get from you? Okay, that's cool. That's okay. Nathan Samuels is, as always, kind of okay. New governor, Neil Hunter. Hold on. Let me just cancel that. And cancel that. And assign Neil Hunter, because...
Affirmative.
Get 10% back on that. There you go. And there you go. And now, this construction ship can actually build something. Yeah, let's go out to Haumea first. Like I said, we're going to focus on minerals for a long time early on, probably even at the cost of expansion. You have contiguous borders. How about that? So I know the Andorians are right here, and I know the Tellarites are right here. We're gonna hop over to visit Tellarites first, because the Andorians we can find out about through our good buddies over here very easily. Now, what do we want? Inertial dampers? Probably. Physics labs I won't be building for a while. Hardened force fields are these cheaper? Are these cheaper than what we currently... It doesn't matter. Inertial dampers I'll actually use. Interstellar Academies are fucking dope. Polarized hull plating? I suppose so. Yeah, that's fine. Now we'll finally unpause.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Can fuck up.
Alright,
Open borders. Non-aggression pact. Cool. Now, give me a research treaty and share information with me, and in return, get bribed. Yeah, hell yeah. Yes! Thank you! Thank you, mod authors. Fucking thank you. So, this doesn't seem like a big deal, I'm sure, but it is. The Vulcans start out knowing the Tellarites. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is a fucking huge deal, because it was a massive goddamn pain in the ass to get all three of these assholes in a coalition without the Denobulans swooping in and stealing the Tellarites. Now, because the Tellarites know the Vulcans, their new contact penalty goes away a lot faster. Oh my god, that is incredibly exciting. I know that's such a mundane thing to get excited about, but that might help the United Federation of Planets occur more often when you're not playing as somebody trying to form the United Federation of Planets. Great. Yeah, pause. Non-aggression pact with you. Non-aggression pact with you. I'm a happy boy. Hell yeah. Alright. Nope. And now you, information, research, information. Get bribed. Okay, you don't know the Denobulans yet? Good. Let's keep it that way. The Denobulans, although it's a real temptation to get them in the Federation as quickly as possible so you can spread the Federation, they're assholes. They do not want to be in the Federation with the Vulcans, I think? Because they're pacifist, and the Vulcan High Command is militarist? Okay, that's new. They haven't always been militarist. I suppose that changes. What this means early on is the Vulcans and the Andorians will have a higher resting opinion of each other, again making them more likely to form a coalition. The Tellarites are still fanatic materialists, but the Vulcans aren't spiritualists anymore. Oh, weird. Maybe they can become spiritualists? They are the Vulcan High Command right now, and it is before the events of Enterprise, so... okay, weird. There have been some slight changes in here that have been very, very good for getting these three to like each other. So, our captain, barely been out in the world at all. She's rapidly risen in the ranks in the fleet. Anbo Jitsu Championship League tables, and now prepares to face the current champion, Clarence Sloan. Anbo Jitsu, regarded as many as the ultimate form of human martial arts, is at the same time seen by some as foolishly dangerous pastime. Myself included. Taking place in a circular arena where two opponents compete against each other, both competitors wear light protective armor and a helmet, which effectively blinds the participants. Staff is used as a weapon with a proximity sensor on one end and a small spherical cushion on the other. She's gonna get hurt. She didn't! She won! Yes! The Mad Woman! After an intense bout, Captain... I'm gonna have to figure out how to say her name. Sakina? Sakina? Sakine? Saki. Nadir, Captain Nadir, has defeated Clarence Sloan to become the fleet Anbo Jitsu champion. While it appeared that Clarence Sloan would press his advantage to an easy victory several times in the match, it was Captain Nadir's persistence that eventually won the championship for her. What'd you get? Adaptable. Okay. Resilient would have been nice too, but Whatever, neither are bad. Yeah, I know how dilithium works.
Construction complete.
For now. I might not know how dilithium works once the new patch comes out, but for right now I got a pretty good grip on it. Aliens? Ah! These are bound to be the Orion Syndicate down here, or the Orions. I wonder where the Saurians will be. If I had to guess, I'd put the Saurians up here. Or maybe down here? I forget where Soria is. It's not that important, but I should know this. I played enough Star Trek Online. Like, God knows I played enough Star Trek New Horizons to have a vague idea where Soria should be.
Construction complete.
So, right now, I'm going around and trying to boost up our mineral production per month as high as possible. After I get these stations done, I'm just gonna save up. I'm not building anything more on Earth, I'm not building any more ships, I'm not building anything else after this initial investment because I need to save up so that we can boost the Enterprise. And honestly, I should probably just be saving now. Because I forget what month that triggers in, and I don't want it to trigger and not be able to pay for it, and have to maybe use console commands and then put myself in a deficit or something to pay for it. Let's just keep hands off. It's probably the best approach. Because even
anomaly detected.
Even these will take 45 months to pay themselves off, and that's a while. While studying the Struve 23982A's sensors have been censored. While studying Struve 23982A, sensors have been detected what appears to be an... Oh, that's a typo. Sensors have detected what appears to be an ancient capsule of familiar origin and orbit. How it found itself to be in orbit of Struve 23982A is a mystery. Like, is this like late onset dyslexia? Sensors have been. No, it's not me who is wrong, it is the children. I'm not out of touch.
Initiating communication.
Hell yeah, migration treaty. Hey, Andorians, you want a migration treaty? No, you don't, because you live on a fucking ice ball. Why would you want one? To make us friends? No? Please? Pretty please? On further investigation, the capsule's orbit is rapidly decaying, drawing it closer and closer to Struve 23982A. If the USS Franklin does not adjust the capsule's orbit with its grappler, it will certainly be destroyed. Well, prepare the grappler. The USS Franklin chief engineer has successfully modified the capsule's orbit with the grappler. Captain Nadir leads an away team beamed aboard. Confirming the capsule to be of human origin, she discovers a number of ancient cryogenic hibernation chambers. Several appear to be occupied. Further investigation reveals that the capsule... So what's happening is I'm saying reveals aloud, but I'm reading ahead and reading capsule at the same time, so repeals. The way I read is like this jump ahead, this jump ahead, this jump ahead. It's really hard to explain. Reveals the capsule occupants were all declared dead hundreds of years prior, though the USS Franklin's doctor believes that they can be revived and cured with modern medical techniques. Wake these bitches up! After the cryogenic chambers were brought back to the USS Franklin, and the capsule occupants thawed out, they appeared confused and on edge. Oh, good. Several days pass and their strange behavior continues. It's only after an explosion damages a large section of the cargo bay that the ship's archives reveal the capsule occupants to be violent criminals, former terrorists, in fact, dispatched into space as an alternative to capital punishment. Quickly rounded up and placed in the brig until their return to Earth. Unfortunate. That's uplifting. Ah, hey, remnants of the past. They're criminals. Yep, there is a lot of space out there. I feel like I made a good decision cutting down on the number of habitable planets, because it's already going to be damn near untenable. Listen, I don't want a defensive alliance. If you fuckers form a coalition, I'll join it. If you don't, great, I'll put it off, because the longer we wait to form a federation or a defense pact, the more influence we'll have. That influence we will all use to expand. If you expand, and I expand, and we all expand before we become one big thing, I will be better off for it in the long run. So please, be expansionist. Please. Heroic Landmark is good. Trading Center is probably better, even though I'm not building it immediately. I'd rather have a Trading Center than the Heroic Landmark, right now, anyway. My tone and attitude towards that had drastically changed over the course of the end of the last Federation run we did.
Technology discovered.
Alright, dope. New fusion core, absolutely. Shuttle pods. Ooh, this is a new image for per-game refinery. Shuttle pod. With limited weaponry. But this leads to Gateway Federation fighters. I'm gonna go no. Advanced spatial ballistics. So the reason I'm not going down either of the cool techs is when we are attacked by the Xindi. And it is when I'm probably just going to have upgraded Emmett class patrol boats. I'm probably not going to have the money by that time, by money I mean minerals, to invest in more ships. I'll probably just retrofit what we start out with. And if I'm doing that, I'd like to retrofit them as best that I can. As best as I can, as best that I can, like, you understand what I mean. Fuck, I really wish I remembered exactly how many minerals this event took. I think it might only be 500, but it might also be 700. It's an odd number in the hundreds, that's all I remember. It's not in the thousands, but it's in the hundreds. Hopefully this time we'll actually get the Xindi crisis to fire properly. I recall in that last grand campaign, or last complete campaign, the Xindi crisis never happened to us. And it took forever to get the Enterprise. By the time we got the Enterprise, it was outdated by far. I had transport drives on everything, and the poor Enterprise was struggling to keep up the pace.
Survey complete.
Okay, survey done. Okay, you're done here, which means I want you to go to either this or this is Wolf 359. I think this should be fine. So we'll want to, once we get the event definer, we'll want to build here and we'll want to build here. That way we border everyone and we can start building the coalition. That will become a federation. I'm not inviting, yeah, those were the Orions. I'm not inviting any of these motherfuckers until the Xindi crisis starts.
Initiating communication.
I don't want to preempt that. Nope. Assuming that forming the Federation still works the same way it did. It didn't say in the patch notes anywhere that the method for forming the Federation has changed. So I'm assuming that it hasn't. Yo. I know I have an excess of minerals right now, so I'm just gonna do that. If I can keep this at or above 800, I'm going to feel fairly comfortable. How big was Earth when we played before? Was it size 24 and I upgraded to 25 later? Or was it 23 and I only ever got it up to 24? In whatever case, I'm thrilled to have it at size 25 now. I may be more picky about what colonies we take this time around. I know the AI won't be, so when we incorporate people we might get some substandard planets, but we'll see. Separated studies.
Technology discovered.
I suppose that's all fine. We don't really have the energy for this, but I'd rather research the Mars Initiative now rather than later, just so I know that we have it. Habitable World Survey, absolutely. We're going to be surveying quite a bit in our time. Quite a bit. It might have been totally reasonable to go with a just Alpha and Beta Quadrant run, turn up the difficulty significantly, but
Construction complete.
it's
Technology
hard to
discovered.
bring myself to not play the grand campaign, as it were. Physics lab, I guess. I'm not going to use it anytime soon, but the other two are hot trash. Hot to garbage. How much to do this? Oh, fuck. 90? Hell yeah, they're gonna beat me to it. Yeah, they're definitely beating me to it. You know what? Why don't you just stay home and build some mining stations here? And I can build this way. Screw 2398 is... I mean, I don't want it, really. I just wanted it to get closer to the Tellarites, but if they're coming to me, that's great. Saves me on expanding into a otherwise garbage system. Alright, so going Federation gets me cultural exchange more quickly, which is good. Going Frontier is probably the better choice here. Going Frontier gets us reduced tradition costs from number of colonies. It gets us unity from capital buildings. It's quite nice. The reach for the stars and solar news network is also quite good. Preservation. Nah. Harmony. Nah. Discovery's fine, but it's not what I'm... It's tempting, but I know it's not what I want. Diversity. Is this very good? Yeah, that's pretty good. Frontier is the best first one to get there. Well, okay, it depends on the build you're doing, but for us right now, I think Frontier is the best way to go. For now. Better spatial torpedoes. Or spatial torpedoes at all, I suppose.
Technology discovered.
Good. This, if we can lower the upkeep before we even start building starbases, that's great. Ah! The Cole Andor Scrolls. This is new. Greetings from the Andorian Empire, Prime Minister Nathan Samuels. Wish it were not so, but I'm afraid I must request a favor from the human people. The Tellarite technocracy has long refused to return the Cole Andor Scrolls to their rightful home on Andoria. Would you be willing to represent us in this matter? What the fuck are those? They were presented to the Tellarite First Speaker shortly after our first contact between... Typo. The first contact between us, or our first contact, but not our first contact between. The Tellarite government have since betrayed us and claimed that the temporary nature of the arrangement was never agreed. The scrolls have enormous cultural value as the earliest known documentation of modern Andorian political theory. Their presence on Tellar Prime is proving intolerable to many on Andoria. Yeah, sure, of course I'll help. You have our gratitude. Yes, hello. I guess I just have to wait for this to... Yep. The Cole Andor Scrolls. The Tellarite technocracy has agreed to a mutually beneficial solution to Andorian concerns over the Cole Andor Scrolls. With access to the scrolls secured for all Andorian Empire citizens, the Tellarite government has agreed to pay reparations and ensure the high maintenance of the public facility the scrolls are held in. Additionally, symbolic admission of wrongdoing has gone a long way to placate many of those on Andoria who demanded their return. Neat. So these little flavor events help to stylize that, like, they start out disparate, but because of their relationships with each other, they can coalesce into a greater whole. I suppose. I don't know. I don't remember the Cole Andor Scrolls being a thing in Enterprise, but I've forgotten other things from Enterprise, so I suppose that wouldn't be a first. Hell yeah! Bored of me, Tellarites? Do it! You're welcome. So the Orions are still unlikable. The Orions, however, I discovered very much near the end of our campaign, have the best goddamn ship designs in the game. They get weapon damage, I think, and evasion. This is just fucking incredible. Yeah, their ships aren't as strong, but evasion and weapon... we need to show them a more democratic way of life and bring them into the Federation at a very high priority. Well, at least before intentionally going to war with someone, because they're fucking good. It may behoove me to double the size of our fleet. How much will that cost? Nope, not yet. I'm gonna rename this. This syntax, using typed out first or second instead of number 1 ST, is because when enemy ships are coming to attack a fleet, if it's spelled out first fleet, I know it's my first fleet. I know it's not just whatever the Tellarites' first fleet. That would be a really nice indicator if saying moving to attack first fleet, if it said moving to attack United Federation of Planets first fleet, or Tellarite Technocracy first fleet. But I think that's not something the mod can really address. That's something that there needs to be underlying groundwork for in Stellaris itself. But that would be a very, very helpful improvement. Be done in Mode 359?
Survey complete.
Alright, get a starbase here, and then we'll border both of you. I suppose... Explore your way down here. Terra Nova is in one of these 5, I can't remember which. Grabbing Terra Nova next will be wunderbar. Absolutely wonderful. Ugh, that's gonna take a while.
Initiating communication.
Yeah, that's fine, nope. Ah, here it is. The NX Project. United Earth's ambitious plan to create a Vork 5 vessel is still struggling. The original vision of Zephyr Cochrane, which began in 2119 with the foundation of the new faster-than-light research complex in Bozeman, Montana, is now several decades old. And yet, most of humanity's ships still crawl between the stars at Vork 2. Admiral Maxwell Forrest stares with a distaste at Vulcan Ambassador Saval. Earlier today, he was elated with the news of the successful launch of the earliest prototype of the NX project. Now, it seems his stay has become worse. With all due respect, Ambassador, Earth has a fleet now. Our Warp 4 engine was recently installed in the USS Franklin, and the Admiral began before being cut off. It was less than a decade ago when your Commander Robinson almost lost his life because of this reckless pursuit, Admiral. We simply advise caution. Saval intoned, we still feel that the NX project should be suspended. Not forever, just for a few more years. I'll pass your suggestion to Prime Minister Nathan Samuels. Proceed with the project. This is gonna be Wolf something, right? No, this is serious.
Construction complete.
Glacial. Don't want.
Construction complete.
Alright, we... Vulcan, Tellarite, Vulcan... You fucking kidding me? That doesn't count as bordering the Andorians? Okay, I can't invite you to a coalition. We don't border yet, so I can't invite you. I could invite you. Cool. So I'll invite them to a coalition after the Zindi crisis starts, but not a fucking day before. Because I don't want to accidentally preempt that. Core sector systems. This is nice. But if I'm not colonizing anything, it doesn't really make sense to get core sector systems. Well, I'm gonna incorporate a lot of bullshit. Colonization.
Initiating communications.
No, don't do it. Don't do it with me, and don't enter into any coalitions on your own. Just be cool. Non-aggression pact should be workable to get you all in a coalition. The Orions look like they're actually expanding, which is cool. Mildly concerning, but cool. I'm cautiously into it. How much to upgrade?
Technology discovered.
I'll wait. I'll just wait. I'll be patient. Escape pods are great. This gives us nuclear electronics lab. We'll have to end up upgrading this science ship, but it's good to get that before we pump out any more. Epsilon Iridani. No, this is Axonar. It's one of these three. I think it's here. I'm pretty sure it's here. God, I should remember.
Technology discovered.
It doesn't matter a ton. I'll get there eventually, but watch us survey the planet, not get anything out of it. So high-rise complexes are really interesting. I want to like these. I want to be convinced to use them. I'm just not there yet. Jabonite, on the other hand, just makes people happy, and I don't have to dedicate a planetary tile to it. I'm into it. I'm very happy about the rework between these powers. It's small, but Jesus, it'll make a big difference, I think. It's been a long road, getting from there to here. I make that fucking joke every time. 2 years after the successful flight of the NX Zeta, Earth is celebrating laying the keel for the very first Warp 5 vessel, Starfleet's first true flagship, the NX Light Cruiser class Enterprise. While technology has progressed at breakneck speed, realizing the dreams of scientists such as Arthur, Asaki, Cochrane, the Vulcans continue to warn humanity that it's not ready for the perils that face them in deep space. Their political pressure can be felt throughout the industrial sector on Earth. The project's resources are quickly dwindling, and many employees on the Warp 5 complex have been reassigned to different projects, while the Enterprise hull floats proudly in space dock, in truth, it's but an empty shell. Analysts and military strategists are forced to admit that they cannot estimate when this ambitious project will be completed. The success of the project is vital. The Enterprise is more than a testbed for the latest experimental propulsion and weapon technologies. It's also a symbol of the hopes and dreams of humanity. Accelerate the project. Oh, 500. It only costs 500. Jesus, that's so much less than I thought. Hold off on that, so I can just build more ships. And then build that. Okay, cool. Ada Cassiopeia. Yep, here it is. Oh, this is a binary system! This didn't used to be a binary system. This used to just be a singular star. Cool! Cool! Luna Nova Secunda. New Moon number 2. What creative and innovative names. But, oh, we surveyed the moon first. I was about to give a very indignant excuse you.
Anomaly detected.
The Lost Colony. Terra Nova was the location of one of United Earth's first extrasolar colonies. Having received no communications from the planet in years, every effort should be made to determine the fate of the expedition. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm gonna hop in here real quick. So we're about at the end of 1 hour. I'm gonna keep streaming naturally for quite some time tonight. But if you are watching this on YouTube after the fact, hey, I'm very happy to be streaming this again. I don't think I'll get burned out as quickly as I did last time. Hopefully we can have a very, very long, drawn-out campaign. I'm really excited to test out these new mechanics. Stop by again tomorrow. In the meantime, if you're new, hey, welcome. Make sure to like, subscribe, fucking like, even if you're not new here. Leave comments. Share this shit. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. You know the deal, right? You're on the internet. You understand how social engagement works, right? You're smart people. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Till tomorrow, toodaloo. Take care. Bye-bye.